Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to give you my review of Thor Ragnarok. Now, Thor Ragnarok is the third movie in the Thor franchise. You got Thor 1, which came out in about, I'd like to say 2011? 10. I think it came out either 2010 or 11, one of those years. And Thor the Dark World came out in 2014, and now you got this Thor Ragnarok. Now, just to kind of set it up a little bit, Thor Ragnarok, Chris Hemsworth's Thor has appeared in now 5 movies as Thor. He's appeared in 5 movies as Thor. He's done a skit with the Daryl thing, which was hilarious. So he's appeared on the screen 6 times as Thor, and is about to appear 7 times. So this is his 5th outing as Thor. And like, the Thor movies are the Marvel Universe's, I wouldn't say black sheep, but, you know, they're the movies that don't get, like, the love that the others get. Like, the highest rated Thor movie is a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, like, that kind of just tells you right there, like, how high they are. Like, the Thor movie franchise, Thor Dark World is the lowest rated Marvel movie at 66%. It's like literally like 8% over being rotten. But, like, and then you got Thor Ragnarok. Now, the reason those movies maybe didn't click with audience. Now, I really enjoyed the shit out of the original Thor. The original Thor is actually, in my opinion, a little underrated. I really enjoyed the original Thor. Thor the Dark World, I liked. There are parts of it that didn't work for me. I liked Thor the Dark World, but I didn't love it. I enjoyed bits and pieces of it. There's parts that I love, and there's parts of the movie that just don't work, and, like, I understand that. And it's one of those movies, the first viewing, I thought, I was like, I didn't get what everyone was saying, but then upon a few more viewings, I'm like, you know what, I see what you're saying. And especially when you hold that movie up next to the quality of some of the other MCU movies, it's kind of glaring that this movie has problems. But then we come Thor Ragnarok. In Thor Ragnarok, there's a new director. They got this new director named Taika Waititi. Now, he's got a weird name because he's from New Zealand. So if you're wondering why he's got such a weird name, Taika Waititi, is because he's from New Zealand. And this guy, I'm familiar with him, actually, because there's this movie which you should check out, by the way, called What We Do in the Shadows. It's a vampire mockumentary. Now, if you wonder what a mockumentary is, if you don't know, it's just them straight up just making, like, them making it's a documentary style movie that's making fun of whatever it's doing. So it's making fun of vampires, and it's making fun of the whole supernatural thing, and it is fucking hysterical. And once I saw that movie, and then heard he was working on Thor Ragnarok, I was like, man, how is he gonna make that work? Because his style is so... Taika Waititi does my kind of humor. This smart, like simple. It's both the smart yet simple, self-aware humor, and that's the kind of humor that'll kill me every time. It's self-aware humor that's totally self-aware of what it's in, of its environment, of like humor that's just totally self-aware, and that is him. And oh my god, he kills it. Both as a character that he plays in Thor Ragnarok and directing this. Holy shit. It is a Taika Waititi movie. Go watch What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People, which I've never seen Hunt for the Wilder People, but I've heard it's a really good movie. It's got a pretty high score on Rotten Tomatoes, so, I mean, I would check it out. Maybe I'll check it out one day. Might check it out after seeing this movie, because Thor Ragnarok was fucking awesome. I love Thor Ragnarok. It was I loved it. I'm going to just give you the grade right off top. I'm going to give this movie a solid 9. It's not a 10, but it's a solid 9. It's a 9. It is one of the better Marvel movies I've seen to date. It's definitely in my top 10 Marvel MCU movies. It may even be in my top 10 superhero movies, though even in both of those lists, it might be, though I don't think it's in my top 5 of either one of those lists of my top 5 superhero movies or my top 5 MCU movies, it's definitely in there. It's memorable. It is very memorable. It's the comic book come to life. This is the first time I've seen Thor, and I'm like, yeah, that's what Thor is like in the comics. Because even though, like, okay, this is spoiler-free review, so you're not gonna get any spoilers. But even the way he uses his hammer, it's the best usage of Thor's hammer I've ever seen. The way he uses it, the way he throws it, and, like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the way he uses his hammer is the best usage I've ever seen him do it. It's the first time I was like, dude, you can do so much with that hammer, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, he can do so much with that hammer, because he's never really done much with it other than swing it around and throw it at people. But you see, no, he can do so much shit with that thing, so that's great. The comedy The batting average for a movie like this, the batting average is ridiculous. Like, if this game was playing basketball, if this movie was a basketball game and if the jokes were a basketball game or a basketball player shooting at the free throw line, I'd probably, and they went to the free throw line about 20 maybe, and then went and shot like 17 free throws, I'd say it made 15. 15 for 17 out of 17 ain't bad, and that is ridiculous, and it is great. And there are some jokes in here, I shit you not, it will kill you because you're not gonna see it coming. Mark Ruffalo / the Hulk, it was awesome in this movie. It was the coolest, most comic book version of the Hulk that we've ever seen, and that's just the vibe of this movie. It's one of the most comic book movies the Marvel has ever made. It is the most comic bookish movie that Marvel's ever made to this point. It is totally, it's a Jack Kirby comic book come to life. It's beautiful. It's like, okay, I'm getting off topic here because I'm just kind of like soaking in how the bass of glow in this movie. Tom Hiddleston is fantastic once again as Loki, but dude, there's some comedical chemistry between Tom Hiddleston and Thor, which I was just like, oh my god, dude, I need more of this. Why wasn't it always like this? Like, this movie is so good. It's the best Thor movie by far. It makes you go back and think about the other Thors and go, I wish the other Thors had a bit of this. Maybe not as much of this, but a bit of this. A bit of the, because you didn't realize how good comedical, like, the comedy that can come out of being a space god is just monumental. The comedy that can come out of being in outer space with aliens and stuff is just monumental. And it's like, wow. Makes me gotta go, why, other than Spaceballs, why hasn't no one made a comedy in outer space? About outer space and shit like that. It writes itself, man. But anywho, moving on, they introduced the story is basically about Thor trying to stop Ragnarok. Hela shows up. She's wrecking shit. She wrecks Thor. She breaks his hammer, as you seen in the trailer, like it was nothing. And she is a bad bitch. Hela is a bad bitch. Now, I kind of agree with other reviewers. There could have been a little bit more dimension to her. But that's just how Marvel does their villains now, because Marvel likes to focus on the heroes. The villains are kind of second tier kind of guys. The villains are kind of on the back turn, and if they can make something good out of the villain, out of the limited screen time they give the villain, then they can make something good out of it, like a Loki or Vulture. But I will agree she could have had a little bit more dimension to her. But, in a movie like this that has so many characters and so much going on, there's not that much time to do that. Kate Blanchett did a great job of what she had. She did a fantastic job with what she had. She was commanding on screen. When she showed up, you knew shit was going down. She had this dark, sexy thing going on, which it didn't hit me until I was watching the movie, but I'm like, apparently, in these kind of movies, and movies like this, like, man, the dark, evil, sexy chick is kind of hot, dude. I was like, man, the dark chick, the evil chick is like, it's like, man, that woman's like 50-something, by the way, Kate Blanchett. Anyone watching that movie and thinking, oh, man, I think she's up there. She's up there. Either she's in her 40s or she's in her 50s, but either way, for her age, wow. Man, some people just age gracefully, man. I mean, hey. Some people just ask Marissa Tomei, 53 years old, Spider-Man Homecoming Aunt May. It's like, what the hell? Oh my! I hope if I get married, my wife looks like that when she's 50-something. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, that's just great, man. She was a really great villain. I enjoyed her. I don't know if she's my favorite Marvel villain, but she's definitely knocking on the conversation at the door of being one of the best Marvel villains, because of the presence she has, the swagger, the evilness, the snarkiness. This presence that she brings to her, and she has an awesome scene when she slaughters a lot of people. By the way, another thing I want to hit on right now, Thor Ragnarok, while fucking hilarious and light tone and fun for the family, they have some dark ass moments in this movie. I'm gonna just warn you right now, there are some dark moments, especially with Hela, and something happens to Thor. It's pretty dark, and not to mention that. There are very mature jokes that are thrown out there, and some jokes that made me even stop and look at my friend Steph and go, should they have said that? They couldn't have said that. Can he say that? And it's dude, oh my god, dude. Like I said, I can't get into too much without spoiling it, but introducing Valkyrie. They introduced the character of Valkyrie. I love how they introduced her, too, because it made sense. Everything about her made sense. Everything she was made sense. Thor was a total fanboy for her. kind of spoilers one joke. There's this one, like kind of running. Like they make fun of mythology. They make fun of their own universe. This has to be, outside of Deadpool, the most self-aware comic book movie I have ever seen. It is so self-aware of what it is. It's so self-aware. It's not so fucking hardened and has a stick stuck up his ass like fucking BVS did. It is so self-aware of what it is. And not only, like, it's like, it comes so fucking, it comes like 2 inches from fucking knocking on the fucking fourth wall, dude. They're knocking on the fourth wall. They don't break it down. They don't break the fourth wall like Deadpool. But, man, they definitely go, fourth wall! They definitely are smacking that shit, man, and hoping for the best. But, man, this was a triumph, man. This was a triumph. Marvel made Spider-Man Homecoming, and then this back-to-back. I gave Spider-Man Homecoming a 9.5. I still stand on that. I give this a 9. I'm just like, dude, things are looking up. Sure, Guardians was kind of like a low point because it was an 8, but Guardians still was good. It was an 8.5 to me, and it's an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means it's still good. So Marvel has done it again. They're probably about to have the 3 highest grossing superhero movies of this year, pretty much, in order, from fucking Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor. And man, dude, but let me get into the reasons that, like, let me just give you a couple reasons why it's not a 10 though. Not a 10. One, some of the joke, not when the joke, the few times the jokes didn't land, they it's not like it was like a soft, like, oh, I didn't notice it. It was a thud. When the jokes didn't land, it was a thud, and it kind of was distracting. 2, I think they could have executed the action sequences better. Now, while I love the action sequences and I thought they were fun, I felt like they could have executed them better. And that's not because and that's not completely Thor's fault. I've just seen better. I've just seen the Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Captain America franchises, so I've seen good choreography and good action scenes can be used in the MCU, so it kind of makes me go, well, they could have used it here too, and it's obvious that they didn't get the same guys without the Russo brothers, they didn't get the same, action choreographers to do that they did in Thor, though the action was fun and big and awesome and Thor-like. It just still, I thought they could have done the action bits a little bit better. Some of the emotional bits could have lingered a little bit longer. It didn't bother me like it did some people. Like some people are like so bothered by these action scenes, by them not being serious enough. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not bothered, dude. It's a fucking comic book movie, dude. It's a comic. Have you read a Thor comic? If anyone of you've read a Thor comic, you've seen it. It's fucking crazy looking like this. Like it's not all. It gets like that, but it's not. But the early ones, they're not like oh, he's fucking like all over the place, the flying colors and crazy shit all over the place. Anywho, but yeah, I think they could have done that a little bit better. I think you could have gotten more out of Hela. I still think they could have got a little bit more out of Hela. I wish that there's nothing else I can really say without spoiling it, but like it's a solid 9. Great damn Thor, best damn Thor movie. It's definitely one of the best comic book movies of the year. It's battling with me. It's Logan, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and then Logan, Thor, and Spider-Man are like this. I got Spider-Man a little bit ahead because I thought Spider-Man had a better villain, and it did the dramatic bits when it needed to a little bit better. But that's about it. And like the villain thing is just like a kind of tiny bit, just because there's actually another dimension to Vulture. There's another dimension as with Hela. There is one dimension with her. But she's awesome at playing that dimension. She is great at it. Sometimes a villain can be done one-dimensionally well, and this is a case of a villain being done one-dimensionally fantastically. But it still was just kind of one-dimensional for me. I think they could have added a little something to her. But hey, that's my review of Thor Ragnarok, spoiler-free. I'll do my spoiler review another time. Don't know when, but thank you for joining me on the Comic Game Movie Show, and I'll see you in the next one.